This is the Teenage Engineering PO-33 KO. This microsampler is one of our newest maker kits. This little device allows you to record small snippets of sound and chop, pitch, filter, and play them back, either chromatically or rhythmically. Our kits also include a pair of headphones, an instructional booklet, and a cheat sheet to help you remember all of the shortcuts. The pocket operators themselves come in a 3D printed case, which I have removed for this video. However, please don't remove them yourselves, as all of the buttons here are loose and can easily become lost. You'll want to start with a clean slate. To reset the operator, hold down the pattern and the right button while reinserting a battery. When it is reset, you'll see RST show up on the screen. The KO comes preloaded with a variety of sounds and patterns to use. Let's break down the basics. The KO has three main sections: the control section, the modifier section, and the playback section. The control section includes write, which allows you to sequence your notes, play, which allows you to play back your pattern, FX, which allows you to affect the sounds and the pattern, and record, which is how you record samples. The modifier section includes sound, which you use to select your different sounds, pattern, which is used to select patterns, BPM, which allows you to set tempo and swing, and the A and B knobs, which control a variety of different parameters. Finally, we have the playback section, which is numbered 1 through 16. This is your keyboard and drum pad for your sounds, and your sequencer for creating your songs. There's also a screen on the pocket operator. This small screen, however, is mostly for decoration and only has a few uses. The main way you interface with the pocket operator is with the buttons and the LEDs that light up above them. A quick note about creating music with synthesizers. In most cases, we record music, but in the world of synthesizers, that process is sometimes referred to as sequencing a song or a pattern. I'll be using sequence to refer to putting together a beat or a song, and record to refer to bringing in new songs onto the KO for playback. To get started, we're going to clear a pattern. If you hold the pattern button, you'll see the lights on 1 through 16 light up. One of them should be blinking, the one under my finger, which is the pattern you currently have selected. If we hit play, you'll hear the pattern play back. To clear everything on a selected pattern, hold record and pattern. You should see clear pop up on the top right corner of the screen. Now when we hit play, we shouldn't hear anything at all. Now it's time to pick a sound. To select a sound, hold the sound button, and you should see LEDs light up above some of the numbers. These are the different sounds, or samples, that are saved to your pocket operator. While still holding the sound button, you can scroll through them and find one that you want. If a number has no light on it, it just means it's an empty slot. Let's start with a simple synth sound in slot 1. Now we can play that sound like a piano. Let's say I find a melody I like, and I want to have the KO play it back. That means we'll need to sequence the sound in our pattern. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and hit the play button. You'll see that despite no sound coming out, the numbers are flashing one after another in a row. This is a great visual representation of how the pocket operator plays back sound. We place notes in the order we want them to go, and the KO plays them back in a sequence that loops, hence a sequence or a sequencer. There are two ways to record a sequence. One is live play, and the other is write mode. I'll start with the latter. To enter write mode, tap the right button. Edit should pop up briefly on the screen, along with this square with a circle through it. Now, when we go to press buttons, we'll get no noise, but the buttons will stay lit up. I've gone ahead and pressed in a pattern, and we'll go ahead and hit play. We just hear a single note playing in a rhythmic pattern. Now if we want to change what note's being played, we can hold down one of the buttons and turn our knob A. As we turn the knob, you'll hear the note being played chromatically, and we can set it to whatever we want. Let's go ahead and build our melody.
Now that
I have a basic melody down, let's add in some drums. You'll notice that there are two labels on the left side of the KO, melodic for 1 through 8, and rhythmic for 9 through 16. Melodic samples can be played like a piano, as we previously seen. Rhythmic samples, on the other hand, are a little different. Instead of playing chromatically, each note plays a different sound. We'll talk more about these two modes when we record our own sounds into the KO. I've selected my drum sound, and now I want to put some drums over it. Let's play the sequence and see what sounds good. Make sure that write mode is turned off, or you won't hear what you're playing. Now that I've got a rhythm I like, let's sequence it into our pattern using live play this time. Instead of hitting write, I'll hit play, hold write, and tap the notes in that I want. You'll hear them playing once the pattern loops through. If you make a mistake, that's an easy fix. Just go ahead and hit write, and you'll enter into the write mode, and you can see that little note and remove it by pressing it once. Note that you can only change the last note or sound you played while in write mode. So to change that, use knob A or exit write mode and play the sound you want and re-enter write mode. Let's keep adding sounds. I'm going to add some hi-hats now. Now you hear, as I went to add my hi-hats, all the previous sounds went away. That's because each sound, or sound trigger, can only play once on a sequence point. However, we have 8 more drum sounds to choose from, so we'll go back and fix that, and then we can choose a new sound for our hi-hat. We can have up to 4 different sounds playing on one point simultaneously on any of these steps. Before we add in our own sounds, it might be good to discuss what exactly a sample is. Samples are, quite simply, just audio files. They could be of a piano note, a voice, a whole drum kit, or even a dog barking. A sampler makes sounds by allowing you to manipulate those sounds and then play them back. Even the more complex samplers, like the Akai MPC or Roland 404, work off this exact same principle. Take a recorded sound, manipulate it, and then play it back. The two modes, melodic and rhythmic, do different manipulations. While the melodic takes the sound and makes pitch adjustments, rhythmic takes the sound and chops it up when it senses there's a loud noise. That means if you record a sample into the melodic section, it will automatically repitch it chromatically. And if you record a sample into the rhythmic section, it will automatically chop it up along any loud noise points. There are 2 ways to record sound: through the internal microphone or through the 3.5mm jack on the left side. The KO will automatically default to the jack if something is plugged into it. To record, simply hold the record button and any one of the 1 through 16 buttons. Remember, 1 through 8 will play your sound back melodically, and 9 through 16 will play it back rhythmically. Let's start with a simple voice note. Now that we have it recorded, we can play it back and sequence it just like any other sound. We can also change the pitch using the A and B knobs respectively, as well as the volume. If we hit the effects button, we'll notice that FLT comes up. That stands for filter. Now the A and B knobs control an EQ filter and its resonance. If we hit it one more time, try comes up, which stands for trigger. This allows us to adjust where the sample starts and ends. So we could have a very short sample out of a very long take, or you could have a whole one. Finally, let's record some sounds into the rhythmic section. We'll use our 3.5mm jack as well as the PO-33 tonic to produce our sounds. Remember, we don't necessarily want one sound, but rather a bunch of sounds played in a row. Same way we recorded on the first time, we hit record and a number in the rhythm section. And now, when we play back, we should hear those sounds. If we need to adjust a start or end point, we would just tap Effects until we get to Trigger, and then any sound we play, we can adjust the start and end point of. The final thing I will talk about in this video is pattern effects. To apply a pattern effect, simply hit play, hold the effects button, and press any one of the buttons 1 through 15. Each one of the buttons applies a different pattern effect. This is perfect for expanding your ideas further or for performance. If you want to record a pattern effect, simply enter write mode and play the effect you want. If you want to remove that pattern effect, make sure you're in write mode and hold Effects and 16. This removes the effect and allows you to go back to your previous pattern. And there you have it, how to sequence a song and record your own samples with the PO-33. Happy making!